Give us your sense of Arizona from 40,000 feet right now politically. There are a lot of reports that it is going from red to purple, that's sort of in between. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think that possibly there's a good chance that it is probably turning a little purple here in Arizona, which is very distressful to us Republicans. But the bottom line is that we've had a lot of people moving in out of California and other places coming to the great state of Arizona. So our demographics have really changed. I think that we have to take that all into consideration when we're out there uh, spreading our message about conservatism, because Arizona's always been a very conservative state. So I think that it probably will remain conservative. I am hopeful of that, but we've got big races on our hands, and I know that the election for the president is tightening, and for our United States Senate, that race is very frightful, and we've got to really get out there and spread our message.
Well, I want to talk about that. Let's talk about the presidency for a second here, because there was a Monmouth poll out today that had the former Vice President Joe Biden 4 points ahead of President Trump. Do you mistrust that poll? What tells you what's going on the ground?
Well, we've heard and read a lot of polls over our lifetimes, and they're not always correct. If you go back, 4 years ago, they certainly weren't correct. I don't see the excitement here in Arizona rising with Joe Biden and his campaign. I mean, he's just not here. There's just no activity going on as far as we see on the ground, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm out in the public a lot because I'm retired. And so I'm out there talking to people all the time. There's a lot of excitement. And I think that it has been shown with President Trump. He's spent a lot of time out here. His administration has spent a lot of time out here. And the excitement is at a very, very high level. I don't think we can take it for granted. I think we're going to have to continue to work really, really hard. And we're going to have to really point out the differences between the Democrat Vice President Biden and our President Trump, and what all that he has accomplished to lead the state forward.
And there are a fair number of real policy differences, very stark, between these two candidates. Give us a sense of which ones are the most important. I mean, 4 years ago, immigration was a very big issue for President Trump. I have read and seen that perhaps, for example, in Maricopa County, which is so important and you know so well, that in fact the views may be shifting some on immigration. Is that your experience?
I think that people are shifting. I think that President Trump has done a good job. He answered the call. He listened to us. He got our borders secured, and we've seen the illegal immigration kind of halting. And our border patrol has been well funded. So that issue is not the number one issue anymore, I don't think, in Arizona. I think the number one issue, as always, is the economy and jobs and unemployment, and certainly COVID-19. Right now, I think people are very concerned about COVID-19, especially the older population. But I think that people want to know that when we get past this pandemic, that we're going to see President Trump return to where we were in the beginning, and how he turned our country around with jobs and the economy, and the bringing manufacturing back to our country. Doing what he did in Israel with the embassy. Those kinds of things are very, very important to our population.
So, Governor Brewer, as you suggest, the polling suggests that economy tied closely with COVID-19 really is uppermost in a lot of voters' minds right across the country. What is President Trump's reputation in Arizona with how he's handled that? Because nationally, he does not get high marks.
And in regards to the economy, I don't know how anybody can't give him high marks. Look what he's done. I mean, he's increased the job market. He's lowered taxes. People were able to hire more people, and then the pandemic hit. So if we can return to all the good stuff that he was doing, and and changing the MCUSA from NAFTA, and changing, making America first. That's what people in America want. They want us to take care of Americans first.
Yeah, and Governor, you make a very good point. I want to be very clear because I put two things together. On the question of handling the economy, President Trump nationally still has an edge. It's narrowing, but an edge over Vice President Biden. No question about that. But on COVID-19, the president does not get high marks. There's a lot of doubt about how he handled it. Is that true in Arizona?
Well, I think that, this is such a volatile issue. I think that people are afraid. I think people are scared. People don't get enough information. There's so much conflicting information going out that, that's when we all have to step up as we should and take care of ourselves and read into it and study it up ourselves. I think that it's just been a very complicated, ugly situation for everyone. But I think that President Trump has stepped up. I mean, he's really brought things into Arizona that we needed during the pandemic quickly and fast, the ventilators, sending support, sending money. Getting the unemployment up for people that were out of work, making it available for people to be able to go back to work so businesses can start slow, but to still keep it under control. It's been hard. It has been hard. And Arizona was hard hit. I think we were the 7th hardest hit state in the country. So we really felt it here. We really, really felt it. But things are turning around. And if the vaccine is available shortly, I think that's going to really make a huge difference. And according to a POTUS, he says that it's going to happen soon. So we're all looking forward to that.
That's certainly what he says, no doubt about it. You mentioned briefly the Senate race out there between Senator McSally on the one hand and Mark Kelly on the other. Two, I must note, veteran pilots, military pilots. The polls have been rather stubborn in showing Mr. Kelly above Senator McSally. What do you think about that race?
Well, I'm very disappointed. I know, Senator McSally very well, and I know she's a hard worker, and I know what she stands for, and she's a fighter, and she loves Arizona. I think that she's going to have to work hard to continue getting her message out there because she has served our state great. And, she's from southern Arizona, and down there she had to be a little bit more liberal than we are up in the northern part of our state. So sometimes that's held against her, but we keep telling people, and, she's been very, very active. And I know Mark Kelly, and what does he stand for? I don't know. I mean, he was an astronaut. That's about all that we know. And he's got a lot of money to spend on ads and independent expenditures to lie about Martha McSally. So I'm hoping the people of Arizona that we can count on them to do their own research and do the right thing and elect Senator McSally to the U.S. Senate. It's unbelievable. We lost one of our Senate seats. We can't afford to lose another one.
Yeah. What accounts for Mark Kelly's superior position in the polls?
I probably a lot of it comes from his wife, from Gabby Giffords. She was very beloved in southern Arizona, and certainly when I was governor and she was shot in that horrible accident but purposefully happening down in Tucson, it was just, so dramatic, and she became like a hero. But I served in the legislature with Gabby Giffords. She's a very nice person, but she's liberal. She's very liberal. And so is Mark Kelly, liberal. He's not going to stand up and be a conservative voice for Arizona and for business and for the people.